Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Tuesday, the 8th of November, and today was a bit of a strange day. It's not a good day. It's a red day. It could have been worse. We were about 30,000 down at one stage. We finished today $18,000 in the hole. So it's a second red day in a row. Not a good day's trading. The first trade I took was with HUDI, and it was more of a gamble and more of a punt, knowing how volatile that stock is. The ranges were huge, but the volatility, if you look at the ATR, for example, it's a good measure of volatility, but the volatility more than compensated for the range. However, I had a trade plan in mind, and I pushed the button on the execution a little prematurely, and it reversed. And if I'd waited, I would have seen the reversal, and then when it moved up, I would have got in at the right spot and been able to make a profitable trade with it. So the trade plan was the right plan. It was a profitable plan. The execution was not. So that's my own fault. A little itchy trigger finger there that got me into a lot of hole, and that set the tone on the day. So I took another trade. I was 6,000 down on the first trade with HUDI. I took another trade and ended up I was 19,000 down with HUDI, and it wasn't going in my direction. So I thought, okay, I'll take a trade with DWAC. This was moving up on rumours of Trump doing his 2024 campaign for the presidency, and that went against me as well. So I took another trade with that a little bit later. It ended up about 11,000 down on DWAC. I went plug power. I was down on that. I took two trades that ended up being scratch trades. One with NVDA. So that was a scratch trade, neither up or down. And the other one was Norwegian Cruise Lines. It was moving up on the day, and as it pulled back and ended up a scratch trade for me. So we ended up about over $30,000 down. And what I'll do is I'll let you join me. I'll do a trade recap on how I got. I made about $11,000 back on DWAC, and got to break even on DWAC. I finished DWAC almost $1,400 green on the day with that particular ticker, but we're still over $18,000 down overall. So not the best days trading. I'm an aggressive trader. My style is aggressive. It's high risk, high reward type style of trading. It's not what I recommend for everybody. Certainly, I don't recommend that if you've got a small account that you have this level of aggression in your trading mentality. But in a lot of cases, because the way I plan my trades, a lot of cases those risks do pay off, and when they don't, I end up losing big. So unfortunately, today's one of those days when it didn't. So we're back at it tomorrow. We're back at the races. That's the only thing I can take from this. We had a really good day on Friday. We over $20,000 to the good last Friday. We almost $5,000, just over $4,000 yesterday down. We're 18 down today, so $22,000 down, and we'll have a look at the how that affects us on the P&L. So let's have a look at some of the trades I took. Actually, I did trade NVAX after hours. Managed to get $850 out of NVAX. So let's take a look at what we actually did. So across the course of the day, let's have a quick look at the first one we took was HUDI. As I say, we got in. We was looking for. So as it moved up, I looked for the pullback, and I was looking to get in for the break of 950. And I pulled the trigger just before it broke 950. I think it was 939. I was itching to pull the trigger and press the buy button as it broke 950. It didn't break 950. so I got in prematurely and it pulled all the way back. So I ended up being about I was $6,000, $6,000 down. It did then move up, and I got back in, and as it moved up, I looked for the break of highs. It got in and it pulled back, and a little bit slow to cut this, and we lost on that. So that was HUDI, and that set the tone for the day. We then went in on NVIDIA, and as it moved up, it started to pull back. It's just consolidating, and we got out for a scratch. It didn't do anything. Then we traded DWAC. So DWAC we traded just after the open. So we got in on this move up, and then it moved down. So we got out as that broke the VWAP there, and we got in. What we were looking for was the break of the VWAP and then constant move up, and as it didn't, it pulled down. So we ended up losing a little bit on DWAC. As this was moving up here, I got in, and then it pulled back again. So we ended up getting out there for another loss. Should have held, in hindsight, should have held, because that went up to 29, and I wouldn't have had to make up that deficit. As it happened, I got back in and bought back in for this move up to 29, but for testing 30, and that took us break even. And I would have, if I hadn't, if I just held the position, I could have added and made a bit more profit there. But hey, look, it's one of those things. What I'll do is I'll show you this trade here that I took. I've recorded that one. So the trade from here, coming off the VWAP on the way up, and made about just over $11,000 on that to get break even with DWAC. I traded it later in the day for another $1,300, and that was it. So what else did we trade? We traded NVAX at the close. So as we got into the close, NVAX had earnings, and we traded a quick scalp. So we got in, it moved up, and we got out $850. We could have got out. It was about $2,000 up unrealized. And when it started to pull back, I was looking for the break of 2150, and we took 5,000 shares. And as it pulled back, I just exited for the whole piece, and we got a slow fill, unfortunately, and we got $850. So we should have had a little over $1,000 from where I actually pushed the sell button, but we got a bit of slippage and a slow fill. So that was essentially it. That's essentially my day today, consisting of big loss on HUDI, loss on Plug Power, wins for DWAC and NVAX. Just the loss was bigger than the huge loss, kind of outweighed the gains. It's a 50-50. Well, I say a 50-50. It's a 33-33 because I've had two scratch trades as well. So 2 winners, 2 losers, and 2 scratch trades today. It's unusual. I don't normally have many scratch trades, but it is what it is. So let's have a look at where that puts me on the month. Let's well, I've got the annual statistics here, so let's take a look at this, shall we? We'll just change this over to November. So let's look at what we've got. So this is November, and we've got, well, still green on the month at least, just about $3,000, $3,500, 33.68. But you can see here it's the risk versus reward that's just my K ratio. A good K ratio, which is risk versus reward, is 2 or better, and 0.35, which is abysmal. Very low profit factor. If let's just take a quick look at this from a annual point of view, you'll see the difference. Now, we had a similar situation in October, and we came good in the last week. I don't want to be doing that. So we've lost a lot of, still over $1 million, but the K ratio in terms of risk versus reward is 6.6. My profit factor is 1.89. So it's substantially better than what we're looking at on the November. So I've got to kind of reevaluate. I want to be more aggressive in November, but with that comes a bit of risk. I mean, if I look at the annual number right here, $5,000 a day, just over $5,000 a day. But in November, we're $500 a day. So we're 10 times less. You know, it's a tenth of what it should be. So yeah, today is the largest loss of the month. And the Facebook trade I took a couple of weeks ago was the largest trade, I believe, Meta trade or whatever it was. So let's have a look at the win-loss expectation. We're now in drawdown again. So right now we've got a drawdown of $22,500 that we've got to recover from. So that's not an ideal situation to find ourselves in. That we should, in all things being equal, we should be able to recover that in 5 days. $5,000 a day. Be able to recover that in 5 days. So we've got another 3 days today. So I want to have that recovered by the end of this week. And be out of Miyako, enough, and be out of that drawdown by the end of the week. So hopefully that'll be the case. And if I look at just the days and times, we're only making money on Thursdays and Fridays in November at the moment, and pre-market's when we're losing most of our money. So maybe I should just stop trading pre-market. I made a big loss after hours a couple of last week, I think it was. $18,000 we lost after hours last week, but we're losing most of our money pre-market. So that's where we're making our biggest losses. So maybe I just need to review my trading and go back to basics on the strategy for just for a couple of days at least, and then scale back up. I do want to be aggressive. I'm trading with a larger account this month for a reason. I want to be aggressive, but right now it's not panning out that way. I should be able to make $10,000 a day by being aggressive, but likewise I could lose, and that's what's actually happening, a lot bigger as well. So I'm trying to make twice the gains as I normally would by being a bit more aggressive in terms of sizing. Not quite working in my favor at the moment, but you know, there's still plenty time left. So if we look at what we do have left right now, let's have a look at the calendar. So we've got you know, 4 full trading weeks really. When you think about it, yes, there's Thanksgiving on the 24th, and then it's a half day on the 25th. So we've got to take a full day's trading off. I don't tend to trade the full day anyway, so the morning's good enough for me. But if we take the full day off, then we've got 15 trading days left, should I say. So it's almost a full month. We've got 15 trading days left. Well, we should be able to make up not only that drawdown, but we've still got to get over goal on the month. 15 trading days. Let's see what does that work out at? $7,500 a day. Ish, give or take, and that would to get us onto goal, but we'll see. So $7,500 for 15 trading days, that would give us about $110,000. So yeah, that's what we need in essence. So $7,500 is our new daily goal from this point in. $7,500 for November. I don't want to be going into December behind. I can't afford to go into December behind, because we just won't make it up with Christmas and Christmas week and everything else. And I want to be taking Christmas week off anyway, so it's going to be a short December. For the likelihood, it's going to be a short December for me. So yeah, I need to up the ante. Target's going up from 5,000 a day to 7,500 a day. I'm not trading the best at the moment. Haven't been for, I would say, the last month and a half. So since I came back from my vacation in September, I haven't been trading the best at all. Whilst I had a trade plan for HUDI, probably not the best trade plan. It didn't meet all the. Got to be a bit more disciplined on the trades I'm taking. It's okay to be aggressive. It's okay to take larger size if the trade plan that I'm executing against is an A+ setup. I'm okay with that. What I'm not doing is being disciplined around the setups themselves. I'm being a little bit too lax. It's like playing poker and being too loose on the cards that you play, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. So I need to up my game. I'll be back at it tomorrow, 90 minutes before the market opens. The last 90 minutes of pre-market, the first hour of the regular hour session, I'll be trading and streaming live. So come join me, watch me either make a complete balls up or a miraculous recovery. It's going to be one or the other. Come back tomorrow and see what it is. I look forward to seeing you there.